I'm supposed to be at the designated time because I haven't gone anywhere. Oh. Ugh. They said they couldn't risk it. Not with my reputation. Too risky by half. Love my talent, but not wild about my timekeeping. And it's all for you. All for your own sake, they said. Patronising bastards. Ugh. Why they couldn't just use a bloody hologram or a video, heaven knows. But, anyway, to put it bluntly, I have a bit of a reputation for being late. Well, it's more than a reputation. It's a national catastrophe! So, that's why I've been incarcerated against my will by a big fat bulldyke of a stage manager with the personality of a black hole. Think of it as a fairy story gone horribly wrong. Beautiful princess actress, moi, is so incredibly talented that she can't be left on her own for too long, otherwise she might not appear at the gala for the prince and the 53 million other people waiting to watch the telecast. So, wicked, evil, lesbian aunt with more holes in her than a sieve has locked her up in some dusty, gloomy, unused theatre, thrown away the key in some dark orifice of hers. I'm sure she fancies me. And this is all just a ploy to get me into my scanties and into my sleeping bag. She might walk past this way, so watch out. And for God's sake, do not mention the piercings. Do not get her started on those. She will show you them all. And believe me, it's not for the faint-hearted. So, you might be thinking, oh, what's the cute girl in the sleeping bag keep wearing very little? Well, it's blissfully simple, really. You see, I'm always late. It's a guarantee, and not just by a little bit, sometimes a day or two, even a week. Apparently, I'm pathologically late, which I always thought had something to do with killing, so I was killer late, until I looked it up. Pathologically means I'm in a compulsive state. I exhibit typical compulsive behaviours, and it's chronic. My production company, the people who employ me, just couldn't take the risk. So I was deposited, chained, and locked, and then monitored, guarded by some frustrated, horny night watch woman who I'm sure has other ideas about me being here. She's probably had me filmed. And they're going to put me on one of those sad lesbian internet sites for even sadder somnambulistic lesbo cronies so they can get off on this slemmy-clad Sleeping Beauty actress. Who knows? God, really is a fairy story. It's a wonder this show ever got off the ground with me in it. But a bit of true grit, determination, and some locked doors obviously did the trick. You see, this is a monologue marathon. I'm in a monologue marathon. Ugh. It's a show for charity. Ugh. Where billions of actors come on stage, one after the other, and perform to an audience who can come and go as they please. But for 48 hours, this stage is never empty. Oh, and it's not just any old actor, they're all here. Callow, Branner, Blethyn, Staunton, me. High-profile gigs, sweetie. Ooh. In fact, darling, they wanted me so badly they had to lock me in. How's that for fame and glory? Maxine De Silva is so needed, they had to steal her away in the middle of the night. Actually, I was 2 days late for one rehearsal, and for a one-woman show, that's just criminal. So, they decided to treat me like one. Meals in plastic trays 3 times a day, shoved under my nose like a dog. Only warm water to drink, and even escorts to the loo. Bloody pervert. I've tried everything, hypnotherapy, time management classes, acupuncture, swimming with dolphins. I was even late for that. And believe me, never be late for a dolphin, because he'll piss all over you. And I've spent hours in the company of one Gottfried Heinemann, not his real name for reasons of confidentiality. And together, we have spent hours raking over my life with a fine-tooth comb, trying to get to the base reason for my tardiness. I got so clever with him that the checks were arriving at his house to pay for the missed appointments before I'd even missed them. How's that for late time management? Merci. We have been working together for some time now. Yes, I know, I said. I've just paid for your fucking drive to be resurfaced and ruined a decent pair of shoes to boot. There is something I would like to show you, so please take a look, have a listen, and tell me which of these ring any bells for you. Snide bastard! Was he making a reference to my late fiancé who I left standing in the registry office just a few short years ago? How cruel! Your lateness can be seen in 7 different lights. So, please choose, and remember, there may be more than one. Oh, goody! Multiple choice with multiple options. So, was I 1, the rationalizer? Did I blame it all on outside circumstances? Or was I 2, the producer? Did I feel the need to get more and more done in every minute? Or 3, the deadliner? Was I one of those that liked a last-minute sprint to the finish, every second running out of time? Or 4, the indulger, showing no self-control, the archetypal procrastinator? Or 5, the rebel, resisting authority and keeping my own control? Or merely 6, the absent? The absent-minded one with just too much introspection. Or finally, 7, the evader, constantly anxious of my environment and desperately trying to control it. Wow, all of the above and more. Oops, German therapist without a sense of humour. Trust me. Maxine, this is serious stuff. You have missed job opportunities. You have been fired from jobs. You have missed promotions, planes. Oh, you have missed concerts, weddings, funerals. You've missed movies, lectures, spending time with your friends and family, people who love you. It is clear. You are in a lifelong pattern. And you are late for everything. You must work together with me on this, or I cannot help you. See, truth be told, punctuality scares me. Don't get me wrong, I'm not some anarchic, anti-disestablishment type, a rebel. God, no. It's just this need for accuracy, being in the right place at the right time that bothers me. Swim class, 6:30, 9 a.m, ballet, 7:30, barbecue, don't be late. 7 o'clock sharp, drinks, 10 o'clock therapy, in the chair. Oh, don't be late, tick-tock, on the dot. I cannot bear this neatness, this timeliness, this need for a timetable which tells you your life is ticking away with meaningfulness, which is ironic, really, because we fill our lives with meaningfulness so that we don't have meaninglessness. Bloody ballet. Who needs it? Besides, bad things happen to prompt people. Now, this is a truth that half the world has no clue about because they're never early enough to notice. For example, take the classic audition scenario. I mean, who wants to arrive early and stand there thumbing through crappy magazines like Pig Breeders Monthly? So, you lean against a wall, do a bit of people gazing, Perhaps some nerd will show up early too and come up over to greet you. But they don't. That would be too much to bloody well ask, wouldn't it? So, you start to pace. You count the tiles on the floor, the walls, the ceiling. You start to add them up in your head, counting even the fragmented ones. You test your skills of multiplication and addition. And then, not happy with the answer, you do it all over again. Mindless wanker. You study the architectural details in the vicinity. I mean, you know jack shit about them, but you look for the Dutch influences, the Victorian, Edwardian, 1970s. Now you start clock watching. 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 15 seconds, and not happy with your watch, you start looking for a clock. How far from base can I stray to find one? Then doubt creeps through your veins like ice. Maybe this is the wrong place. Or they've changed it and they haven't told me. Oh. Then you forgive. You think, maybe there's been an accident. Something terrible has happened. But in your heart of hearts, you know the director is basically just some lazy son of a bitch bastard who couldn't give a toss about the auditionees because he's already been shagging the person he knows for 6 weeks anyway. You think about calling and the frustration turns to anger. Wasting my fucking time. So you give yourself a deadline. 5 more minutes and that's it. Then he shows up. Obnoxious cunt. Yeah, and he looks like he's been up all night fucking shagging anyway. Put all this together and promptness isn't worth it. I don't have that now in the pottering, browsing, running errands, showering. And I'm not so vulnerable to those tin pot directors playing those bloody mind games. But one thing I have learned is that prompt people have long memories. My German analyst said to me one day, Maxime, what do you think gives your life meaning? Ooh, roll-ups, lions, good sex? Wrong answer. Think, girl, this is serious. Time is money. Not seeing clocks of any nature. Town clocks, video functions, that sort of thing. I don't know, countdowns, TV guides, calendars. I see, he said. Like fuck he did. I'm paying 50 quid an hour for I see. And he suggested I had some sort of morbidity complex, some sort of I hate time syndrome. Now we're getting somewhere. I like that notion. I have a fear of clocks. That's it. I dance off down the street, clutching my TikTokophobia. I have a morbid fear of clocks. Ring, ting, tinnitus. Doctor, just here. Can you help? To say I can't remember where it started isn't strictly true. I blame my mother, which did come out in therapy, and I did do a bit of primal screaming of my own. My mother was 3 weeks overdue with me, and I was a big baby by all accounts. I just didn't want to budge. Reckon I knew what was coming. Bloody time, that's what was coming. My mother was screaming in agony for days, lolloping around like some beached whale by all accounts. It wasn't until I had my own rebirthing moment in a cloistered shop hidden on Clapham High Road that I really understood. My birth, her trauma, bloody hell. I'm in the middle of a show, don't you know anything? Ugh. Where was I? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That hidden shop in Clapham High Road. Oh, I heard her screams. God, I heard them. Just get it out of me! I don't care how. Just get it out, rip it out, drag it out, cut it out. I don't care. Just get it out of me. Get the fucking thing out, bastard child! And all that from a woman who never raised her voice, never shouted. Perhaps that was where it all started. That's fucking disgusting. Ugh. Yeah, must have been. I mean, I was late teething, late walking, late talking, late on the potty, late reading. I started my periods late. I was even late kissing. God, isn't it any wonder Lily Lateness from Leyston didn't get a hang up earlier in life? Jesus. But now I'm ready to face my demons. Oh yes, I know I have a problem. So I'm ready to open those closets full of broken clocks and face those that I've left behind down the years. Crane Tufel, who I think is probably still standing under the precinct clock. Jenny, maybe, still waiting at the airport. Countless cold dinners. Buses I've missed. Boys I failed to kiss. All those hours. Wasted hours that will never return. There's no second chance with time. That's what he said. Maxine, there is no second chance with time. Once it is used, it is used. It is the most dispensable thing that we have. Waste it, by all means, but forever attached to it is regret. By Christmas, I was convinced I had ADD with a smattering of bipolar disorder, some psychological dysfunction with some OCD thrown in. Not to mention the panic and the anxiety. God, I was a mess. I went back to my school reports. English language, Miss Taylor. Maxine often fails to give close attention to detail and makes careless mistakes in her schoolwork and other class-related activities. Maths, Mr. Bartlett. Maxine does not follow through on instructions and fails to finish her schoolwork on time. Miss Casarinas, PE. Max often loses things necessary for the task or activity, so thus cannot be included in said activity. Miss Stroud, History. Max talks incessantly and often blurts out answers before the question has been completed. She has difficulty in waiting her turn and often interrupts or intrudes on others. She is a constant fidget and makes herself a regular nuisance. I stopped going to Godfrey. It was like being in a minefield. I mean, of course, it's stuff that's painful to hear, stuff I don't want to hear. I mean, isn't that the sick and twisted reason we go there in the first place? Shell out thousands of pounds to someone to tell us about the problems we already have some kind of inkling about. I actually stopped going because he asked me to. He said, quite coolly, one session, Maxine, I do not think we can continue our work together. These lies have become a barrier to our work. There is not much we can do. There it was. Something that was finally the truth. The lies! The big fat whoppers that had accompanied every late scenario for the last 4 years. Great big humdingers of lies. Not just merely untruths or storytelling. Lies so big you can fall inside them and get lost for days. And not just about me, no, everyone else as well. I could alter my reality to fit And that's what I became really good at. You know? Fictitious plots and subplots, characters, scenarios, places. God, it was a complete soap opera. And not just one on the go. I had different sets of lies of lives for different sets of people, and I could mastermind them even when they crashed into each other. I was like some puppet master pulling the strings. I could literally suspend the belief of people around me, getting them to believe exactly what I wanted. Questions. That's where most things start, isn't it? People wanting bloody answers to everything all the time. I mean, if people didn't ask the freaking questions in the first place, there would be no need for this hiding in the shadows, skulking in late, waiting to be scolded. My mother was the question queen. Where's this? Where's that? What you doing so-and-so for? How come you haven't finished this? Who, what, where, when, how? Of course a little bit of espionage creeps in. I mean, I never was very good at the monosyllabic answers. I cottoned on pretty quickly to the idea that if you're going to tell a story, you might as well make it an earthquake of a lie and make yourself the epicentre. Make it one of those volcano of a lies that decimates everything in its path. There is one such lie that will go down in the annals of history as the biggest and best lies of all time. It started, like most of them do, quite simply, nothing too elaborate. You see, the trick is to keep the die casting, keep the wool rolling and plentiful so it gives the tapestry a chance and keeps the wool spinning. I got a nice job in regional rep. Yeah, nice part. The director seemed to like me. Gave me the job probably despite the better judgment of his fellow staff, but there we go. I did a nice audition piece. Chuffed to get the job, and I genuinely couldn't wait to start rehearsals. So, Monday morning, picture this. First day of rehearsals, and I'm late. And not by 5 minutes. 10 minutes, which is a reasonable phone call. 15 minutes maybe in traffic. Even an hour in the hospital. Oh no, nothing that simple. I am 3 days late, and I rock up on the Thursday, bold as brass, with a lie to end all lies. Even Beelzebub would have been out of a job and onto the streets. So, made sure I looked the part, all suitably pasty and wasty. You know, complexion dim to the point of death looking. Body completely bereft of vitamins, all that what you have here. Sorry, I say. I'm so sorry I'm late. Oh, it's a long story, but basically, I've been in hospital. So here we go. Cue. People coming round me, surrounding, crowds gathering, already murmurings of, oh God, what happened? Is everything okay? God, she looks terrible. Doesn't she look terrible? Spent the weekend at my parents'. They got a country pile down in Ascot. Well, actually it's Sunningdale. But I had a lovely few days. Swimming, drinking, eating, as you do, you know. Sunday night comes 9 o'clock, decide to go home a bit late, beat the traffic. Mum sends me packing with a couple of tuna sandwiches. Get home, crash out with my script. Job done. 6 a.m, phone goes. It's my mum, screaming down the phone. The woman's bloody hysterical. Can't understand a word she's saying. Finally get hold of my dad, and he says, our dear old family cat, Timmy's dead on the doormat. Turns out these two have put 2 and 2 together and decided that the tuna it had eaten has obviously been poisoned with botulism. You know, that was all the rage back then. Old people dying by the dozen from it. Mum decides, I'm the next victim. Oh! I hear her cry, she's going to die, darling, get to the hospital. So, that's what I do. Ring my friend, he picks me up, takes me down to the hospital, hopefully to get pumped out. By 10 o'clock, it's all over. Stomach contents suitably emptied, and all dignity humiliated by a large tube up my jacksie. Parents picked me up, take me home to convalesce. I slept and I slept and I slept. And it's only when I looked at the messages I remembered I even had a job. Poor Timmy was buried and a pall of sadness hanging over the house. Next day, Wednesday, milkman rots up to collect the money, the bill, you know. Asked about the cat, asks how it is. My mum says, dead, very dead, and buried under the sycamore at the bottom of the garden. Milkman apologises, says, well, it's probably got something to do with the fact on Monday morning, poor little Timmy had a giant milk bottle cracked on his head. He was trying to run under the cart. Poor little thing was exhumed, autopsied that very day, and yes, he died from a severe blow to the head. So, here I am. You know, gullibility. That's the biggest problem, isn't it? All I really needed was a slap on the wrist, someone sending me to bed without me supper. I never got me comeuppance. Nobody ever said anything. No wonder I got away with it for so long. The lies spinning out of control for the last 40 years. I mean, did nobody ever... Not again. Oh. Hello? What do you mean, where am I? Where do you think I am? At the bloody Harrods sale? What? Director, fucking Stephen fuck anything with legs Macintosh. Where do you think I am? In the fucking theatre, dickhead? Studio 3, the black box with the yellow door. What do you mean Studio 4? Diesel Dyke put me in here and told me to stay put and to... Hello? Hello? Oh, fucking battery. Hello? Hello? Is anybody out there? No. Is anybody watching this fucking show or not? Hello? Is anybody there?
Max, you're in the wrong theatre. You should be in Studio 3. You're 20 minutes late for the start, so we'll have to go without you, I'm afraid. But we might be able to swap you in later. Just get to the studio now, will you?
Oh, you take...
Wardrobe's waiting. In fact, everybody's waiting.
Fucking piss! What do you mean I'm in the wrong sodding studio? You fucking well put me here! Oh. You know what? You can all go to fucking hell. I never wanted this bloody job in